Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. Today we are gonna run a map, and it's gonna be a special map. It's gonna be Vault of Atziri. So, when I mentioned this one last time, I wasn't quite sure what it did, so I said I'd do a little bit more research. Because it says chests have 166% increased item rarity, area contains no monsters. This being Path of Exile, I was expecting there to be a catch. Like the area doesn't contain randomly spawned monsters, but it will instead have boss encounters or something like that. That was my mental process. Turns out, it's supposed to be really what it says on the tin. There are no monsters. This is just a loot run, a treasure hunt. There's just gonna be chests, and there's gonna be loot, and there's gonna be a lot of stuff. So we're gonna see what we can find. I've never done it, so I feel obligated to do it and to share this experience, because we don't often get unique maps. So let's go in and let's find some loot. So this is a tier 3 map, so monster level 70. Means item loot is gonna be 70. And there's gonna be a lot of rubbish. Hey, a ghost. Vaal vessel. Large chest. So this is probably the only inhabitant of this actual area. It's a ghost. So that's gonna be fun. So this is just gonna be yeah, a little bit of an interlude. There might be something nice here, I don't know. Let's just say I've never done this before. We probably should want to pick this one up. Break all the jars. And we'll just hope we have enough portals to go up and down and carry all the loot out. That's probably going to be the main challenge of this level. So having your loot filter set up in a decent way is probably useful, because there's going to be a lot of trash that just drops here. That's good. So people gave me the advice to just sell the map and make some money that way, but no, that would be, if you're doing the profitable thing, that's probably the way to do it. Because then, a dedicated loot farming group or something could do a run through, and it will be worth something to them, but there's no fun in that. So I'm choosing fun over profit in this case. We're nearly getting there. Let's see. Yemen. Oh, is it up there? Yeah, it's up there. So don't worry, next episode's gonna be another map where we will be killing things. Oh, we killed a ghost. We busted a ghost. There's something. Okay. And then I think it's gonna be time for our first trip back to town. Yeah. Pull up. Go back. Well, down. Base, down. And then we put everything in, and we'll see how rich we get in the end. It's, I mean, if this is going to be a pure treasure hunt with nearly 19 times the rarity of mobs, so we're not going to ID anything, right? So we'll just do it like that. Next up, we got quite a bunch of portals, so this will work. So I'm not entirely sure if it's better to do this alone or as a group. Because in the end, everybody who goes in consumes a portal. So if you're with more people, yes, you have more inventories. But each person that goes in will consume a portal. So in the end, every inventory that goes in, so to say, is a portal that gets consumed. So I'm not entirely sure if that matters all that much. Okay. Maybe I should actually pick this up rather than just walking by it. Just as a general idea for myself. Just tracing the outlines. So there was nothing there, there's a door over there. Question is that gonna be a scary guardian or something? No, I'm still slightly wary of what the map actually says it does and what it will do. Just because Path of Exile is usually not the kind of game that gives you something for nothing. And here I'm definitely getting the idea that I'm getting something for nothing. Let's open up the large chest. I need more pockets. Space for another large item. I don't have a stack of blacksmith stones yet. So another town portal. So far seems to be going well. I wonder if there's more rooms. That could definitely be an option. Oh, at first I'm just picking up rares and things like that. If there turns out to be multiple rooms, I might just stop picking up rares and just go for currency and unique items instead. But we'll see. The first one will just completely gonna geek out and just get everything we can, just because. Fuse. Okay, just trying to be a bit meticulous about this. Yeah, see, missed a little bit. Missed the spots. Okay, those. Large chest, this is not interactable. A lot of stuff in the large chest. Okay, so that's the first room done. Let's move over. Is this just gonna be another room? Yes, it turns out that's exactly what's happening. We just get multiple rooms. I wonder if this is more room, more loot than you will ever be able to carry. Okay. So once we have 2 portals remaining, we're gonna stop picking up rares. Let's keep it that way. So then if there are a lot of uniques that suddenly will start dropping in the final room or something, at least we can grab them. Ooh, 6/6 socket, necromancer silks. Let's do some frostbolts around to break the jars and such. I need more pockets. Loot explosion. So for now I'm just gonna see if I can fit a couple smaller items in. Then we'll come back for those rares. But this is definitely fun to do, these ones. Yeah, I think that's it. Got one empty spot, kind of nags at me, but sure, there. So, ooh. That's the first tab full. Of course, you don't need to have a spare tabs for this. You can just get rid of items, just sell them to your vendors or something. But it's easy to just keep things together and then just sort through them all in one go. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm mixing levels now. Maybe I should just stick to the outside. Let's do that. And then just work our way in again, just like we did previously. So this is the final wave where we are gonna run, pick up the rares. After this, it's just gonna be useful items. Superior grotto map. Bunch of sacrifice fragments. Eventually, once you get all of those, I think you can do the proper Atziri map, which will actually have a boss fight. Is this it? I think this might actually be it. Ooh, prismatic ring. What is it? What is it? Lori's lantern. Extra elemental resists, movement speed when low on life, extra light radius, 20% chaos resistance when low on life. While on low life, enemies are unlucky when damaging you, so they roll twice, and if they miss once, Yeah, if they hit you, they roll again to see if they still have an opportunity to miss you. So that's pretty good. I think especially if you combine this with an Enfeeble aura, that already makes them unlikely to hit you. This makes you godly. Also, the chaos resistance while on low life is interesting. It's a different way to guard you against chaos. Though, of course, going chaos inoculation kind of fixed that for us. But I think this is just 2 rooms. So there is no need to hold back. We can actually get everything out. So we got a Lori's Lantern. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever had one. But that's a lot of unique items have that actually. They are so rare to drop that for a lot of uniques you will be like, hey, I never had one of these. Oh, now the really low level ones like Redbeak, everybody probably has had at least half a dozen of those by now if you've been playing for multiple years. I mean, if you're relatively new to the game, then of course, no, it's gonna be different. But at the higher level, the uniques, the less often you will find them. But that's nice. It will be a continuous journey of discovery that way. You will keep finding new things, and of course the devs keep adding new ones, or the community keeps designing new ones. I think it was yesterday that there was another blog post with another couple of items that got added to or that are announced for the addition in the next expansion in 3.4. Some community-made ones. There's an interesting one. It's also that one that makes you stun immune as a ring rather than as an amulet. So that's for the CI setup that I'm running right now. That's actually, it gives you more options. I think it makes stun resistance based off of energy shield rather than off of life, as it usually does. Which is pretty cool, since effectively my life is 1. So I should be really prone to get stunned. Trick here is of course that because most of my enemies are frozen, they don't really have an opportunity to stun me. Let's shuffle this around a little bit. I think I have most of the things now. We just have the small inner circle over here. That's it. Those large chests, they contain a bunch of items. So they are going to be the interesting bits. And we are in the final inner circle now. Legion boots, there is space for you. Just have to see it. You just have to see the opportunities. Let's see, put that one there, put that one there. Move you around a little bit. Ta-da! Inventory Tetris. Playing it since 1998 or something. I know that feels like roughly when Diablo 1 came out, right? That's where my journey with Inventory Tetris began. Good old Diablo 1. We'll just pick another one. So much loot. Okay, Katarina there feels a little bit away. So, final portal. So this just worked out. So no rares left behind. Final large chest. Make it good, make it count. Doesn't disappoint. And over there, oh, that's just a mana flask. Okay. So really did not miss anything, right? Just walking back here. Oh, see, we missed one. Ooh. And then that's it. That was the Vaults of Atziri. It was short and it was, well, as you can see, relatively profitable. So if we're just looking at purely at the currency that we got out of, I mean, a lot of the items Let's see, all the currency equivalent items. So this is a chromatic link, this is a 6 socket. Let's see if we can count that. No, it's a relatively short episode, so I might as well just pad it a little bit by doing some post-run cleanup. Oh, that's a gem. That's not really something I will count as a value. No, there's some map fragments. We of course got Lawyer's Lantern, which is only level 30 item actually. Interesting. So 6 sockets, we can sell that. We have made all the rares. Identify them, sell them. You will start drowning in these little orbs of alteration. I think you can easily get 10 or 20 of those from this patch. I don't think there are any chromatic items in here. Here's a chromatic. Of course, we have a bunch of currency, including scrolls, of course. Scrolls are useful. We will burn through all these scrolls. So I think that's it in terms of pure currency items. So we can just... having Katarina next to me is pretty good though. So every 6 socket item that you sell, you get 7 of these Jubileus orbs. We have 2 items, so that's good. Items with 3 links with a blue, a red and a green get you a chromatic orb. So this is always, no, those items they're basically just currency in a slightly more creative form. So now the great sell-off begins. Technically these are all Chaos Orbable items. So let's see, we need to put more. How did we score on the rings? I don't think we got a lot of jewelry out of this. Right, so let's ignore that. Let's ignore the chaos recipe for now. It always stands and falls with the amount of jewelry that you manage to score. Okay, so we ID this. And then we sell them. And then I usually do a quick scan over all the items I put in. Basically if there's something that's going to be relevant for me, but the crypt armor, for example. Fire, cold. It's a pretty amount of resistances on here. More than what I currently have. It's a higher base item, so for now let's keep that. And we'll put it in with our frosting. As you see, I got multiple candidates. We just do it like that. Let's see, one more item. I should just talk with Katarina, she's standing next to me. Sorry Katarina for ignoring you, just not used to having you there yet. Let's see, Spirit Shields, 81% increased crit chance, that's pretty decent. That's more than what I currently have on my shield. We would lose out on a bunch of spell damage though. And resists. Okay, so that's not an upgrade. It's the 81% increased crit chance is pretty nice though. Wow, so over 70% resistances on a, but it's only a level 50 base. That's or 49 base. That's a bit unfortunate. That's why most of the rares they just get turned into orbs of alteration. And that's the reason I keep picking them up, because, well, orbs of alterations, you burn through them rather quickly. Let's see, anything useful? 58 base, that's not good. It's all level 50 bases, that's, yeah, not something reliable to build on top of. Omen Wand adds a little bit of cold damage to spells, but besides that, it's not really useful. And just look at this, like, like 3/4 of an inventory full. That's 4 orbs and a couple of shards. Oh, and then we click the stash. Stash and the jewel. Let's just identify those. We're not actually gonna sell those. That might be useful. Wait. Yeah, see, because I'm drowning in chaos things. So that's good. Okay, next. No daggers anywhere. Nope. Okay. And we just add everything back and then we scan over them yet again. So daggers can be have casting mods, so they're always useful to check out. +1 to socket the gems. It's always interesting, though I think I use it right now for Frostbolt and Vortex. No, okay, there's support skills. Victory Cry, 88% increased crit chance. That's very close to what I have. And my current one has more increased spell damage, though the 8% increased casting speed will increase your DPS. And the extra mana regen is not bad either, but I do miss having quite a bit of spell damage on here. Because I can craft spell damage on top, but I will still be losing out on the 50% base crit increased spell damage that's on the old one, so that's not worth it. Necro helmet. No. Boom. When I'm filtering through gear like this, I usually only consider the character I'm currently playing. So that really does give me tunnel vision to what might be useful for other classes or just in general. But since I'm not an active trader, I don't sell items, I only buy items every once in a while. It's easier to just filter things through and look at how they would work on my current character. Or potentially for a character that I'm still leveling. But that's kind of it. Oh, we have another jewel. So we just have some small items, some drags. Let's just add them all to sort 1. And we can just go over those later. You never really sell these because you can use them in weapon crafting recipes. And did we ever actually empty out this one? Yes, we did. So that means we got a decent picture of what we got after we sell 2 more items. So level 58 base, also low level base. Okay, so the final tally: 18 jeweler orbs, 19 orbs of alteration, 1 orb of alchemy, a fuse, then some augments, transmutes, orb of scouring, and some low level stuff. We got 2 maps, but they're only level 1 and level 2 maps. Of course we got Lord's Lantern. That's probably the major victory here. We have a couple of jewels. We got 4 of these sacrifice at dusks. We got 1 sacrifice at noon. Oh, we got 5 sacrifice at dusks. Sacrifice at dusk is I think the lowest level of these. So you'll be drowning in them soon enough. I still have to have the one that fits in the top right to actually complete the circle. So I can use these as modifiers for maps to make them corrupted. Which I'm probably gonna do for the next run. Let's do a corrupted run next. But for now, no, 1 single Vault of Atziri, 1 unique and a bunch of currency. No chaos, no exalted, no nothing. So that was it. So for now, gonna thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you again next time when we run a proper map where we actually get to kill stuff. That's not a ghost. Bye bye.